welcome to Tampa and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we talk about treats, business, and life. This week we are just gonna have a conversation about some ways to enhance your business, some ways to get more people to look at your images, and just having a smooth checkout process if you are doing your treats or desserts online, or if they want to order online. I know some people have stores, some people have um, online ordering that they do. Some people ship nationwide, and some people don't do any shipping at all. But just because you have a small business, don't mean that you need to market small. So I am Taylor of Taylor's Kitchen Sweet Spirit Treats. We are located here in Michigan, and this is my co-host Tamla, and she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, thank you, Taylor. Yes, you're absolutely right. I echo everything you just said. I am Tamala. I'm owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. Torlitas is a dessert company located right here in the great state of Ohio. If you want to know more about me and my business, you can go to at Torlitas. That's T as in Tuesday, Orlitas.
Yes, so we're gonna get into it. We have a couple different things that we're gonna talk about today, and we're just gonna let Tamala take the lead, and I'm just gonna chime in, see what we got going on in our treats business and life.
Yeah, well, thank you, Taylor. So I know that I have a website
Mhm.
and I really need to do my due diligence of updating that website so it's current and that my customers are able to go to the website that's torlitas.com to order, to find out more information about me, and so forth. But however, there's a lot that goes into having a website. And if you don't have anyone to do that service for you, then it's all on you. And I just want to share with our audience today that there's so many facets to having a business as well as having a website that is current, that is engaging, and people want to go and see more about what you do. Aside from social media, if you are a business, a legitimate business, it's important to have a website or have something that people can go to find out more information about you.
Right.
And there's many ways to do it, but I'm going to talk about a website today. Okay. So really, do you need a website? There's an argument out there. I don't need a website. I'm on social media. I can order, they can order through this. I can post on social media. I can post on Facebook and they come or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's true. But in order for you to have that presence of professionalism, I think you need a website. And so, what does a website do? How do you prepare to have a website? Okay. So the first thing you need to do is have an idea. If you have brand colors, you need to, add those into your idea of what your website looks like, what content it will have, what pictures do you enjoy? If you're going to have any text, what is that text going to look like? What is the font going to look like? What's the design going to look like? I know I use Squarespace. I use Squarespace. We'll get into hosting and domain, and I'll go to give information about those when I get to it. But you also want to know if your website is going to be informative, if it's just going to be a one pager, or you're going to have many pages, many like one, two, multiple pages, not many, small, but
Yes.
multiple pages
Yeah.
to your website? Is it going to be informative, or are people going to be able to shop your services and your products from that website? And or both. So there's a lots that go into creating a website. Okay. So let's move on to hosting. Do you know anything about hosting, Taylor?
I know originally when I first started out, before I did baking, I used Wix.com. I used
Yeah.
it because it was extremely simple. It was a one page. I didn't have multiple pages. It was just a really long page because I kept adding, sections to it. Um, but
which
Wix
is fine.
was my go-to. And that was just because I wanted to showcase my pictures. I didn't necessarily want to sell anything. I just wanted people to see the food that I was creating. So I got the Wix for that,
Mm-hmm.
for those two reasons. I wanted it to be simple, and I just wanted people to see pictures. I just wanted it to be basically like a gallery. I didn't plan anything else that was on the website, like the fonts. um I know I believe I know a little bit more about marketing now than I did like 8 or 9 years ago. So the branding, the fonts, the colors, and all those things are good tips for being consistent with who you are, who your brand is.
I agree. Um, so with hosting, you have to have kind of like a house
Hmm.
of where your website will live. Okay. So when I go to that house and open up the door, I will see your company.
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
And your hosting and your domain name, which is the name of your business or the name that you create, that's a shorthand version of your business. Don't make it too hard and complicated with funny asterisks. And I don't even know if you can put asterisks in there, but
Or the like
funny.
30,000 numbers with triple double digits
Yeah.
for your name and things like that.
You're gonna lose people off the bat,
Yeah.
So it's best to have something small or truncated, or even if it's a nickname for your business that everybody knows if you've already built up the brand awareness for your business. And if
Mhm.
everybody knows that you have a little, we'll just say double treats, oh, okay, I know double treats. That's Torlita's. I'm going to go to her website.
Right.
Now, if you have that already built up, that brand awareness built up, then go ahead and select double treats for your business name or your domain name. And
Hmm.
you can do searches on GoDaddy, Google search, the name, and or just put the name into the browser and see if it's available. So, and if it's not, then normally they'll give you some rollout of some names or possible names to use.
Hmm.
.com is if you're trying to be very creative, most likely it's probably going to be taken, now. So just think about that. But there are two costs associated with hosting and domain names. Okay, you,
Hmm.
they're not the same in the same package. Not that I'm aware of, but you probably can get them through GoDaddy at the same in the same package. Okay,
I got
mine is
oh, I was gonna say through GoDaddy, I got my domain name and then I got my a professional email address through them, and those were two separate fees. So those were the two things that I paid for through GoDaddy. Was my
yeah,
domain
that's
name,
good.
the email address.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You can get your professional email address through them as well, through your domain, domain name or hosting as
Mhm.
well. So, and that also is another way to be professional and look professional
Right.
to other people with your, say, for info at um, taylorskitchen.com or something like that. That's
Yeah.
going to show that you are a professional. You're not out here just hustling on the side. Even
Right.
if you are, it don't matter. You show up as professional that you're
Right.
about it,
Yeah.
with this business. So, so just beware of that. And I'll mention a couple other things as aside from, way to get your items out there in addition to a website. Okay. So
Mhm.
the content. So what are some things you think of content when you think about a website?
Well, as far as I feel like I've heard people say everything is content, and I believe that that is true based on the message that you want to put out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, like, I'm on a baker's group, and this lady was
Mhm.
talking about how every time she bakes something, her she had made some animal cookies, and her little daughter like took a bite out of each cookie. She had made like a dozen of them and put the cookies back on the plate. And some people were like, I would never post that on my social media because they would feel like, um, they would feel like, it was, my house was unsanitary, or it was unclean, and or children have access to everything, and I was like, yeah, they could look at it that way. Or some other people was like, let's make it funny. So then it turned into a joke. Like, only one cookie tastes the best because they ate the most out of that cookie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when I have that as an example, that's how I feel about content. It matters how you present it. Um, as far as like, if we're doing service based businesses, so we definitely want to present the good side of things. But if you are going to share, um if you're going to share more, about your business, you got to share also like the bad things. Like, I thought to like put
Yeah.
up a picture of like my first cake. Like, it was it was not like these cake and cupcakes was not like anything that I do today, but it was just like everybody has to begin somewhere. So either you can use content to take people on a journey, you can use content
Yeah.
to be like, I'm only putting my best foot forward. You can do content to rebrand yourself or reinvent yourself. You just got to have a goal or purpose when you go to present that content to people, I feel.
Right. I totally agree with that because you don't want to put something out there that doesn't pertain to your business. I mean, you
Right.
don't have to put anything out there about your gardening or your favorite pastime or your family and them,
Your
vacation
mama
or
and them. You don't put nothing out there
yeah,
about your mama
exactly,
and them.
exactly. Unless it relates to the story of your business. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
Content is very important, especially the pictures of your product, the
Right.
lighting of your product, the staging of your product. Product, when I say product, I also mean service. Product is a
Right.
service, or service is a product. So get that out the way. But also the content of the text, what does the text looks like? It shouldn't be a whole paragraph of stuff. It just needs to be something that captures the audience's attention really quick, because you have 3.4 seconds before they're going on to the next thing. 3.4 seconds before they like swipe and go on to the next thing.
You
And if you can do a video, even better.
like
So
in reality, that is no time at all. Like, I know like that's true because of my swiping and being on social media. But like, when you actually think about that, like, we have lost a lot as a generation, because like everything is so fast. And when you go to do these websites and marketing and taking pictures, all of that, like, time really slows down. Time doesn't slow down, but the amount of time that you have speeds up. That's how I feel when I get ready. Cause it's like, "Oh, I gotta take this picture before I go out the door." It's like, you just should have been ready earlier. Leave 30 minutes before the people come to take the picture. Because
yeah,
so many
it
times
worked
I'm like,
too.
yeah, I'm like, dang, that cake was the best one I ever made. And then it's like, it's gone, no picture. You can't rely on people to do the picture justice. So
Mhm.
I understand this
They're not gonna
content.
know how to do the angles. They're not gonna know how to do, position something if something ain't 100% on there. You're like, okay, just a little, put the best ones in the front, and how to
Right.
do all that kind of stuff. I totally agree with that. I think what I'm going to do is maybe get a food photographer, hire a food photographer to take some pictures. I think that's the
Hmm.
best way for me to do it because it's not my strong hand. I try to
Yeah.
do it, try to do with the lighting and all that kind of stuff. Being in Ohio, we have a lot of gray days. But when the
Yeah.
sun is shining, it's the best time to take, the pictures. But we have lighting, you have ring lights and all that kind of stuff. But it's just never, just never seems to
Your
work out. So
expertise. Yeah.
yeah,
I've
I'm going to
I've
invest
heard
in light.
I've heard good and bad about that. Like I've heard that people I've heard people say that it's good to have your things sent to a professional, but then like what if that person doesn't get done in the time that you needed it done and different things like that. So I guess my only advice would be like when outsourcing anything, just check the background of the person.
Right.
uh Make sure you get the source is a quality source that's referring you to the person. And like me, honestly, everything's not perfect, but I do a lot of YouTube, and I feel like if I'm gonna have to do this a million times in my life, I better know how to do it myself, because
Yeah,
trying to rely on other people all the time don't work out for me as
yeah.
as a person.
It's better to be self-taught, and know what you're doing and know because you know your product, you know
Mhm.
what you want to highlight in your product, if it's a special color, if it's a special rosebud that you did, or if it's a special something that you did special in your product, in your
Yeah.
finished product, and you want to be able to highlight that to say, look at my skills, look at my
Yeah, I just never
recognize.
want to be caught not knowing. Even if I just know a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's better than nothing. I'm going to
I
master it over time. At least I know like the
mhm.
foundation of where to practice from. I actually just signed up for a full photography class, and I went to get on the Zoom, and it did like the maximum have been reached. And I was like, oh, I'm tired of this in my life. This maximum reach, I just want Zoom to have an unlimited amount of people that can go into a room. You know, I would
Yeah,
appreciate that as a consumer.
like an
I would like,
overflow,
yeah,
overflow
yeah.
room. They may be working on it. You gotta let them know, girl. But I agree with that. So that was the content, and we're gonna move on to the payment systems. So the payment systems, what do you use currently?
I have Stripe, PayPal, Cash App. I don't have Vimeo. Yeah, I just use those. Stripe, PayPal, and Cash App. I
Okay.
try not to
So
use Cash App a lot, just for record
okay.
keeping purposes, because then I have to go
Yeah,
back and put the records back in. I like
right.
PayPal because they document everything.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So there's so many. You just mentioned a few of them. I mean, there's dozens more popular ones that you mentioned. There's also Venmo. I think you mentioned Venmo. There
Mhm.
is Square. There
Mhm.
is L or Zelle.
Mhm.
There is Google Pay, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay.
Right.
Uh, there's on and on.
Mhm.
But I think the most popular ones are Cash App, PayPal for sure, um,
Stripe.
PayPal, Stripe, Square. Square
Square.
was a big one for businesses. You used to be able to swipe your
Yep. And
phone
then
or your card.
the Apple Pay and the Google Pay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are
I've
pretty
used
good.
quite a few. Yeah. So some platforms, wherever you have your hosting um,
Mhm.
of your website, you have to check with them to see which ones they are compatible with. But I think those are quite a few that you can use, especially PayPal, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, um, Apple Pay, Cash App. I don't think it not so much, even though Cash App is owned by Square. I think Square owns Cash App.
You know what I
So,
hate
but
about
I don't,
you know
uh-huh.
what I hate about Cash App? I don't know if it was just me, but I couldn't log into the computer. They sent me through different verifications, and the verifications never worked. And I'm over here like trying to call technical support, and they don't have a technical support team. Um, I was highly annoyed with that not working out as planned. So that's why I don't want to use it unless it's a necessity. Because some people feel the same way about like PayPal or everybody have their own pet peeve about you know anything. I know
Right.
one lady will only use Cash App and she would never use PayPal, and one will only use Stripe and she would never use something else because she wanted to use her debit card instead of her credit card. um I don't know, it was strange. I think it should be the other way around, because your credit card, you can get that cut off
Right.
and monitor more, but your debit card is linked directly to your bank account, so you wouldn't want to use that in more cases. But I mean, maybe she just didn't know that. So
And people have different experiences with different
right.
platforms. You just mentioned one of the key things with this online payment system. You have to have a checking account.
Hmm.
You have to have
Right.
a account, put it that way. You have to have a bank account. You
Hmm.
must have a some way to link that account, your payment account, to that checking account or bank account in order for this thing to work. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, and it's best that you have a business banking account instead of your personal banking account attached to this when it comes to tax time and stuff like that,
Oh Lord,
it's a lot easier.
you are not telling any lies. I'm doing business taxes for the first time this year, and if I just had known, all those things when you do your LLC, and it's like, do this, do this. I'm still at like 35% of the things that I was supposed to do, and I've had it
Okay.
for like a year, and I should
Yeah.
really do better.
Well,
They were like,
you're like,
yeah, they were like, you need to hire an accountant, an attorney, a lawyer, and I'm like, ma'am, I don't see, I've never had to use all of these things for my business. And now I'm like, I need an accountant, an attorney, you know. Um they even asked me about a website developer, but they tried to charge me uh between 500 and 5,000 or 2,000, I think, dollars to build a website. And me, I was like, I'm just not gonna have one because my revenue was not uh
level, yeah.
sufficient enough to have one at that time. So
Mhm.
um trying to do things the legal way is definitely going to be going to cost more, but I feel it's going to be worth it. I always try to do things, different, because I just keep hearing people that have hefty bank accounts say like, I got tax breaks, or I got, like things like that. And I'm like, the side hustling ain't gonna work forever. You know, it's good while it's going on, but I don't think it's gonna last forever. So
Right. And companies or states and ordinance, how can I say this? Government wants you to succeed as a business,
mm,
because that's where it's better to have a business than not. When you're doing, there's different tax breaks and different grants and things that you can apply for in order to keep your business afloat. So
mm,
having a side business and getting all the money and not reporting it, yeah, you can, I guess, if you want to do that kind of thing. But there's benefits to, making sure you have an LLC, or actual business in order for you to, even get information about how to do your taxes. There's plenty of organizations out there that are local that want to support women businesses, business owners, and all that kind of stuff. So be sure to reach out to them in your local area. Um, so also with the payment system, there's other fees. There's going to be fees, ladies and gentlemen. There will be
There,
fees. You just have to know which one's going to work best for you and your business bottom line,
right.
So
Yes.
it's not just one and done. You're going to get that $5. No, you might get $4.72,
Right.
after it's said all and done with the fees and things like that. Um, you just got to add that into your cost, to your customer. Not trying
Mm,
to overprice the customer, but where's it going to come from? Either them or you. You can split the cost to be fair, if it's not too much, but you have to, make up that cost in other areas of your business. So be sure to be mindful of that.
I heard.
Before we go,
Oh, I was just gonna say.
yeah.
I heard someone break it down like you should you should have separate like sub accounts. Like you're gonna have to pay taxes. If you have an employee, you're gonna have to pay your employees, and then you're gonna have like operating expenses. So if you do a revenue of $5,000 that month, all of those things have to come out. He was basically telling you how to give yourself a profit as an entrepreneur, because we are so used to pouring back into our business that we don't actually see. I've heard people say that like for years. Like if you're gonna start a business, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be broke until like you really get a business. Like that's one of the things that really discouraged me from opening a restaurant. Like when I first started, they're like, "You're gonna be bored for 5 years," and I was like, "Dang, like really? I don't." Everybody, but nobody was teaching financial literacy. They was just telling you was gonna be poor for the first 3 to 5 years of opening a business. Like, at least explain why you think I'm gonna be poor. Don't just tell me I'm gonna be poor for 5 years. And that just come with educating yourself and not always taking someone else's words, because they can be very kind. They could be coming from a great place, but it don't mean they right. It just means that they're
No,
kind
it doesn't.
and they have a good heart. But they might be limited in their knowledge, and you are too if you're listening to them without seeking further education on the subject. So
I would say go and see for yourself so
right.
you know. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you were talking about that a minute ago about how you wanted to be, you know, you want to know what's going on and how to do things.
Right.
So the other things I wanted to say is that there are definitely other ways to do it besides a website. There's Shopify. Shopify is almost like a website. There's easytree.me, where it's kind of like it's line by line of areas where you can go. So if you have a widget, we'll just say you have special pins that you want to sell, and on your website or on your social media, say, hey, this special pen is golden, and you'll write in rainbow colors or something. I don't know, just something that's special about this pen, and you want to
Mhm.
buy this particular pen, you can have a direct link from your easytree.me to the special pin. So it's so easy for the customer to go and click on this, make sure they get this pin particular, and click out and pay for it and all that kind of stuff. So there's definitely, in addition to your website, there are other things that you can do
Right.
to get your products and services to your customers, and you are paid for those products and services. So that's all I had, Taylor.
Well, thank you, Tamala, for explaining the websites and the easy trees. I know a lot of people, like when I first looked at Instagram, I was like, why do people keep saying click the link? What is the link gonna lead me to? You know what I mean? But once you start to like really follow what people are doing on there, it makes it easier for you to know what to do next or what your next steps are. You definitely won't understand everything, because setting up everything is a whole 15 episodes 15 episodes in itself. But
Will I ever get to the end? Will I ever get to the end of this?
It's a challenge, man. Computers,
But it's work.
technology, it's a whole new language, a whole new world.
Yeah.
It's like if I told somebody to step out of an office and start baking cakes all day, they'll be like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good in my office, in my cubicle." But it's necessary, use your social media, um, use your DMs if you need to until you can figure out, a better way. Tamala helps people with things. She does lots of different businesses. So if you need help, definitely reach out to her. And yeah, like this, comment, share. You can see it on YouTube. And we're out of here. I am Taylor with Sweet Spirit Treats. We are located right here in Albion, Michigan. We do custom cakes and treats for your special occasions. We have an Instagram, Taylor Tamla Treat Talk Tuesday. Also, like I said, check this out on YouTube if you would like to. Or if you just want to hear this while you're driving down the road, we are on anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, and a host of other ones. And we have links in our bios. We were just talking about that. We got that set up. So yeah, come to Torlitas or Sweet Spirit Treats. And I'm gonna let Tamla say goodbye to you guys.
Hey, thank you so very much, everyone. Hopefully, this was enlightening to you. We encourage anyone that wants to be featured on our platform. If you are a treat maker, if you're starting out or you're an established business, we'd love to have you. We'd love to stop for you to stop by so we can ask you some questions and find out more about you and your business. You can do that by going to Tamala. No, I'm sorry, Treat Talk Tuesday at gmail.com,
Right.
treat talk Tuesday at gmail.com, or even if you think someone would be a good fit for us to interview. Certainly, we know people are shy or camera shy. I am just as camera shy, but I'm glad that I've been able to do this platform and have a YouTube and Anchor.fm podcast with my co-host Taylor, and it was something that just happened organically. And we're on to our 15th, maybe 16th. I don't know at this at this point. Um,
We
15th,
out here.
16th episode,
Out here.
but we on our way to a 20th. Or we're on our way to our 20th episode, and
Right.
we started with the first one, and we didn't even know each other at the first
Yeah,
one.
we never even met in
So
person, guys. We are
never
we
met.
are living a digital lifestyle.
Yep, absolutely. So if we could do it, get on here every week. We post every week to these platforms. We have to. I think we started posting on our fourth episode, so we got to catch you up and post the other ones to our YouTube page. But we're on our way, and we would love to have you if you're a treat maker. We just had someone that creates cookie cutters. We
Yeah.
had Portia Kimball with your cake diva, and we had another baker, cake maker, Jay's Sweet Treats interview. So, and you don't have to be a female. We would love for a male to come, and join our platform and share with us as well. So, with that, have a blessed week.
Have a blessed week, guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm gonna pause it.